Hey, this is Russell, back again with today's episode of Civilization 5, Theodora, Sven's Europe and all that. And we are conquering the Egyptians. We're going to push deep into Egyptian territory today, assuming, nothing changes, of course. I kind of know what happens, of course, because it's a post-commentary. But yeah, so we have our units advancing into Egyptian territory. Their tech levels behind us. We're about to get an even greater tech advantage against them. I need to make sure I mute this 1 second. We're about to get an even greater tech advantage against them because, yeah, we're going to finish researching dynamite and we'll be able to bombard them from a greater distance without any kind of terrain getting in the way. And yeah, our city bombardments do a heck of a lot of damage too against the Egyptian forces, which is really nice. It's going to give us that much more of an edge against them. And you can see by, like, just me mounting over the chariot, for example, like my men can insta-kill those guys when they charge. So I'm in a pretty good position. I can't really lose this war. I can probably peace out earlier if I wanted to, not conquer all of them, but there's not really much point in not conquering them. There's so much benefit. There's very nice land to get. Much better than settling cities from scratch, of course. We are getting a little overrun in that area by barbarians, but we're moving up a frigate to help. We also have our city to be able to bombard them, so we're going to be able to eliminate that unit that's threatening our worker, and then this other unit isn't actually threatening our worker, A, because he's dead, but B, even if we weren't able to kill him, our Gatling gun zone of control would have boxed him out, so he can only move like next to him. Now you saw my almost dead unit charge Elephantine. No matter what, if the city is on its last little bit of health, and your strength is greater than that city's health, your unit will always win, no matter how little HP your unit has. So just a tip there, it's not really a gamble for your unit to attack a city like that. If it's on low HP, it won't die, it'll automatically win. So nice little tip there if you didn't know that about Civ 5. Hope it helps. And yeah, purchasing some buildings, because a lot of the buildings get destroyed when you take over a city. And most important thing to purchase, of course, is the courthouse when you take it over. That way it can function like a normal city. And yeah, we're pushing into the Egyptians, like I said before. We have our little cataphract exploring out there. And we finally met the Swedes. Good for us. We're 2 turns away from being able to upgrade our units to artillery, and that will pretty much win us the war. The war is already kind of won, but it'll just make the war such an easy breeze that it's not even at that point much of a fight. Our Gatling guns are bringing a bit of resistance. We did accept the Portuguese embassy there to get a bit more vision on their capital. And you can see that Lisbon's been taken over, and Porto is now their capital. So, a bit weird, and it occupies all of Galicia too, so it's kind of cute that, they hold that little area. And since we've discovered the last place, we initiated the World Congress, and we are its leader for now. Looking at different options at this point, city-states are playing a role, and because of that, it's going to be a bit competitive because we waited so long into the game to be able to do this. So I have to kind of think about my proposal. I am thinking world religion maybe, but I'm not sure who's going to support it. There's not a lot of people who can support it because they have to be my religion to support it, or they would only oppose it if they were neutral. But I end up deciding to do it. I'm hoping maybe I can get enough influence with the city-states before that next vote happens. It's a bit of a controversial vote. Like, if I wanted the people to like me more, I would have gone for something like the World's Fair or something, but I think I can maybe push this through. I have quite a bit of gold you know, in storage. I'm taking advantage of that one city-state who wants gold gifts right now, and giving him like a double gift so that, triple gift so that, you know, he'll basically be in my influence forever. And yeah, there's only so many city-states I can see. That's the disadvantage of not having explored the whole map at the beginning of the game. So yeah, and there isn't really too many city-states in the map if I remember correctly as well. Like, if I was to just randomly generate a map and with this many civs on it, I think there would be more city-states on it. But yeah, I don't think there's a proportional number of city-states to civilizations on here as you'd have it like in a normal game. So yeah, it just makes things a little bit wonkier when it comes to the whole World Congress stuff. And it makes it very possible that I won't be able to push that vote through, even if I get all the city-states on my side, if they all vote against it and focus their votes against it. So yeah, interesting dynamic there. In the meantime, I have a worker now. I got a worker from that city, and he can start working on roads. And, you know, we're pretty well developing this area now. We're getting rid of all those marshes on the northern coast. It'd be a cool starting location for the Netherlands, like having like the whole Suez. They want to give me a city for peace. There ain't much point to that, because you know it's probably faster to take over all the cities than to just have them give me the city, wait for the truce to be over, and then take more cities. You know, dynamite being popped in one turn, the science, we should be able to take these cities pretty fast, you know. So dynamite's finished. We got our privateer moving around, exploring a little more. He can explore, even though we've already discovered everyone. Maybe we'll be able to discover another city-state or something like that. So it's not, you know, useless to have them explore, although it's probably going to be very hard to find a city-state that's surviving along the western coast of Europe still. And yeah, we've finally been able to upgrade those guys to artillery, and we can bombard that caravel. Unfortunately, because of the placement of all the different cities, there is no Suez Canal city, if that makes sense. Elephantine was just a little bit too close to the Suez to be able to settle there. I could have burned Elephantine down and built a Suez city, but I mean, you know, the Suez Canal. I don't really have ambitions into the whole like Arabia, Persia area. If I did, you know, the Suez Canal would be nice to have to be able to move the fleets between the two areas pretty seamlessly. But if I don't plan on expanding there, it's fine. Now, if I was playing as either Egypt or Arabia or Persia, or the Zulu or Ethiopia, having the Suez Canal would be essential, because that would allow you to build this massive fleet in that whole area behind it. Probably a battleship fleet too, because of all the oil that you'd have from like Arabia and Africa and stuff, and then be able to let it pour into the Mediterranean. So that could be like a cool way of doing it, but at this point, you know, our entire navy is in the Mediterranean, and I don't have ambitions to conquer the world this game, as you can see by the victory. I'm the ideology I've kind of chosen. If you want to do the conquer the world game, you will almost always go autocracy. I mean, you can do it with order, you can do it with freedom. It's completely fine to do it, but it just doesn't really contribute too much to the conquer the world theme. Maybe freedom would be a bit better on a smaller map because there's 6 units free maintenance, but when you're doing like very large wars like this, large maps like this, 6 units free maintenance doesn't really do much for you. And then with the order ideology, it's a bit more defensive minded, the bonuses that you get from that. It can work in offense as well, because once you take over a city, you get a defensive bonus for the city that you've just taken over. So that helps a little bit in fighting, you know, like a conquest series, but the whole thing with tanks, I forget what it is, in autocracy, like on the 3rd level, that's really good. And then there's like another part of autocracy that works really well for that as well. I'm blanking out on all the stuff that helps with autocracy. Order would be my second choice, and freedom my third. But maybe freedom would be a second choice instead if it was one of those like 2 or 4 civ map games. Because 2 civs or 4 civs, 6 units make a lot more of a difference. But anyways, I'm babbling a bit and not something about this particular game. So I'll come back to this game. Our tiles seem to be pretty well improved. I mean, you know, there's exceptions like all those forest tiles in Amorian need to be developed, and of course, this newly conquered area is going to be taking most of my workers for a while. But yeah, I'm pretty well developed in a lot of these different cities. I could use one more worker maybe throughout this game to have been a little bit more efficient. If I had gotten like one more worker many turns ago, that would have paid off and been a little more efficient, but I don't think I needed it. I mean, obviously I didn't need it if I'm winning and top of the scoreboard by more than double. 1706 I'm first, and then 864 is the next one, Poland. Poland has done surprisingly well. I've normally seen Russia do much better in these games than Poland, and or the Mongols or one of those people, but Poland's done pretty well this game. So, hey, awesome to you, Poland. Good job. Poland can into space. I believe in you. Although it'll probably be a century or 2 after the Byzantines go to space. I mean, they're our main competitor. It's just like they're so far behind. It's not even worth moving up units to like a big army to fight them at this point. And you know, we have like a buffer of city-states between us and them, so if they were to attack us, we have like all of that going for us. You can see that even though there's a hill in the way, it's not being blocked, the bombardment, so I'm able to just have him bombard Giza just like that. And that bombardment gave me a great general. So that's pretty cool. And we can now see that there's even more cities along the western coast of not the western coast, eastern coast on Arabian side. It would be east, but it's actually kind of like north in this game because of the curvature of the earth and everything. But anyways, that's besides the point. There is another Egyptian city in Arabia that we can take care of. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. We have our units all moving out and forward. We can try to move our general up, but I don't really think it's going to do much. If anything, it'd be nice to, yeah, you can see I'm kind of eyeing up that area where the gems are, where I lost a great general before. And yeah, it looks like I'm going to go for that. It's nice to get a little bit extra gems. It's a free luxury for a general, so it's not like I need the general for anything else. And yeah, just doing a bit of exploring with my cataphract. There ain't much more to the Egyptians. Like, they have Thebes there, and then they have that one city in Arabia. I don't think they have anything else. I could be wrong. They could have... Did they have 3 cities? They might have one more city besides Thebes. Yeah, they do have one more city besides Thebes. I remember now. Yeah, because we just looked at the diplomacy menu earlier. Have it on Remind Me Later so that I can save up for stuff and buy great people as I need it, or maybe pagodas or whatever, depending on, you know, what everything turns into. Pagodas are a lot more efficient to get in the early game because it pays off a lot longer. But I mean, they're still worth it in the late game because of the happiness. Pagodas are just amazing. Did I get pagodas this game? That's the problem with doing a post-commentary over the period of time. Like, I might have not done pagodas, but I think I did. I almost always go pagodas. I must have gone pagodas, unless it was taken. Anyways, religion's been kind of good this game to me. And I really liked the fact that I could add another belief to it. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it really does pay off over time, you know, and nice to have. You see, I don't even need a lot of force to take over those cities up where like Giza is and stuff like that. I just needed the 1 artillery and the 1 rifleman because You know, they're very strong. And yeah, so I'm working on getting that road built, trying to build a road network that you know, these guys never finished our range with our dudes, so we're getting some work done. We didn't have to move the artillery that far forward, but it doesn't hurt to move it there either. Even if they bombard it, they won't be able to kill it. And it looks like the cities usually prioritize already wounded units, so it was a little bit predictable, that shot, that they were going to go for the riflemen there. They don't always do that. I think they do prioritize occasionally, like artillery that they think they'll be able to do. I'm not 100% sure how they prioritize it all the time. It's interesting the way that works. Anyways, so we have Obrid there. And yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Decent city sizes now. You know, all those cities in this part of the world are over 10 pop. Some of them 20, or most of them like 15, but that one city, 25, Constantinople. I could have had a bigger Constantinople if I focused all of my trade ships there and not like across the empire, but it's just a bit more efficient to have it across, you know, different cities, all of the trade ships. It just makes, because cities that have less pop in it grow faster, so it's just a bit more efficient to do it that way. Although the capital does get a lot of bonuses, like, you know, especially if you go like tradition, where it's like, oh, for every this number of citizens in your capital, you get more happiness and stuff. So there are benefits to doing it in the capital too. We got Puppet created in Thebes, and we just have one more city on that side of the world to get. We're pretty much done mopping up these guys. We're not done mopping them up yet. We still have to conquer the rest of them. You know, map painting and all that jazz. But yeah, we are the masters of the Nile. The way it should be. This is rightful Byzantine clay. Nicaea is already a 12 pop city, which is amazing. You know, that's the Nile right there. And got a great engineer. I don't think we have a wonder to build with him. I guess I'm looking now. Am I gonna look and see? I must have been distracted or something. Or maybe I was just deciding what I was gonna do. The Great General. Do I not have the Great General already going to the other spot? I do. Okay, so I have a couple Great Generals. It's been a minute. Considering where I could put down a citadel. Of course, I have that one Great General going there. I could keep extending it out and get the aluminum. Now I'm eyeing up here though. Look at that. A gold and a cotton. I could take over that city, but again, there's not much point to go into war with the Assyrians. And I am being a bit inefficient with the fact that I'm not using my 2 spies there. At the same time, as long as you have 1 spy in the capital, I mean, that's pretty much the best you can do. They don't tend to, in my experience at least, rob techs from other cities beside from the capital. Or if they do, they just never get caught or something. But yeah, we can have him bombard that city next turn. He's set up to bombard. Memphis should fall pretty fast. I'm not sure it'll be just 1 artillery strike or not, or it'll have to be multiple. Guess we'll see. Do have that guy finish building the road so he can, I guess, build a mine, or maybe not. Maybe he's going to go there and build more roads, which makes sense. Prioritize the roads. Looks like I'm planning on putting the thing right on the gems itself, which means I won't have to make a mine there. And bombarding Alexandria. It'll fall next turn because it's already fallen by so much health this turn. Zoo? Yeah. Who doesn't like a zoo? I still haven't built the national epic yet, which is not the best, but at this point I'm not going, since I'm not doing the whole great person for victory. I'm doing like the whole purchasing parts for victory. I mean, you know, great people still help, especially great scientists, to expedite that whole thing. So I take that back. It would have been better to have the national epic. Anyways, yeah, so national epic is something I should be building in the capital, but I guess I'm prioritizing a zoo, which means, you know, I did lose a decent chunk of happiness taking over the Egyptians, but it's not too bad. So I'm considering building it there. I end up just checking to make sure the barbarians aren't there. Looks like I'm actually considering putting it there, which means I guess it's a bit more defensible. It makes sense. You know, I could always build a city there, but at this point, building cities, like, you know, being able to build a national epic, I'd have to, like, you know, build the monument in the city, then I would be able to build the national epic again. There comes a point where you just want to chill building the cities for a while, just because you won't be able to get the national wonders that you want to get if you don't have that same, like, building in all the cities and everything, if that makes sense. So yeah, just throwing stuff out there. So we have free artillery in range of Memphis. So next turn Memphis will fall. We got barbarian unit there that we can deal with next turn. We have our Gatling gun out there. We have all those roads intersecting there. Sheep pen being built there. Or pasture, whatever you call it in this game. And guns are shooting at Alexandria. We've taken the city. Look at that. So next turn we have our last city to fall. Memphis. Have to wait till next turn to do that. Come on, Russell. You can do this. Get to the next turn. We have quite a lot of tiles to improve for Egypt. But once they're improved, it's going to be a pretty prosperous new portion of the empire. I mean, you can see like the tiles that need to be improved. There's a lot of tiles that need to be improved. You can see we had some oil from it too. You see there's like a little patch of oil there in range of Thebes, which is good for us. Interestingly, England hasn't settled the whole Scottish area, which is a bit inefficient. We have, of course, that going there, which means we can now improve those gems, have another source of gems. So why not have another source of gems? We're also going to snipe some luxuries from the Assyrians in a minute. And this should be the final assault on Memphis. And you can see how much more dynamite helped, you know, take over all that place. We don't even need this for an artillery. We can just use it to just murder that barbarian unit and bam, they're gone. And Memphis is ours. And we've gotten great work from it. Got a few great works from this war actually, so those are nice to have. More culture. You know, to offset the whole culture thing from there. And yeah. I don't know why I haven't haven't purchased the courthouse refuse because they're still resisting. Okay. Return the unit, because why not? Let's make them a little happier with us. Not too worried about their religion and its spread. Interestingly, Arabia started settling the cities that probably Egypt or Ethiopia should have been settling if you look at the map. You know, they're kind of throwing some cities in Africa, especially the Zulu. I mean, this whole area of the map is pretty rich, and it's pretty underutilized by the fact that, you know, you can see that there's barely any tile improvements and stuff. The AI on this difficulty level just isn't very good, or AI in general, I'd say, isn't really good at managing barbarians. So Syria was a little pissed at us for taking over those luxuries from them. Haha, is all I gotta say. You know, things are doing great for us. And yeah. Ain't much else to do besides have all those workers improve all the tiles of the new places that we've gotten. Got quite a bit of work for them to do here. Gonna go ahead and purchase a ton of buildings. The hospital's gonna help, you know, grow this place back real fast. The granary and stuff. Did I purchase hospital? I don't think I purchased the hospital. What did I purchase there? That was food related. I purchased the granary. Whatever. Anyways, Phoebes is looking good. Those buildings will give it a little bit of a boost. And gonna get a windmill now, which will help build even more buildings. Phoebes is looking good. It'll grow back slowly but surely. It'll grow back a lot faster too if we were to go ahead and improve a lot of those tiles. But we have it on food focus for now, of course. And yeah, probably go through and rename those cities. I don't think it'll be this session, but yeah. Anyways, bye. Because it's over, the video.
Like, favorite, and subscribe if you guys want to see more. Always interested in your feedback down in the comment section. You guys have a good one. God bless.